This vlog is from June 26th, day 73 for us on our trip, to day 82, July 6th. We are in New Hampshire. We just summited Mount Moosilauke. It is 4,800 feet. It is the tallest mountain we have climbed thus far. Would you say the most epic view? Definitely.
Yeah,
thus far.
definitely.
Unbelievable. Actually, when we were just here, the clouds were rolling in. It's, you know, we've heard that the weather can change on a dime up at this elevation. It just cleared up. It was just all cloudy a second ago. But we actually didn't think we'd get a view, judging on when we came up. But man, it's a real bonus to have it. We're gonna have plenty more views along New Hampshire. This is only the first of many climbs. I don't know how many more left we have. But yeah, New Hampshire has, we're just outside of the White Mountains right now, so we've actually made a good ways in at this point. But we're gonna slow down. Obviously, just constantly climbing these very large mountains. So it's gonna be interesting though. I'm really excited because, you know, I've never hiked up here. Never hiked anything. Actually, one time in Colorado we climbed like a 10,000 foot day hike type thing. Don't know what elevation we started at, but this by far is just, it's just epic. I don't know. We're liking it, we're pumped, and we'll see where we end up tonight. Not sure what, it's June 26th today. Not sure what day it is. Probably around 73. But we are less than 400 miles to Katahdin, which would be more than 50% for the way we did it. So we are we're getting there and we feel it. I mean, it's just cool to make it this far. I mean, really today is like one of those rewarding days. Like, wow, we did this. Still in New Hampshire. Check this out. We're walking along these timbers here, along this waterfall. Beautiful waterfall. There's my friend Ollie, trail friend. Beautiful day. Got the view like I said. And look at this. Another one. Here's day 74. We are just, the summit's probably that direction, but got to this view. We are, what is it, Kinsman Mountain?
Yeah.
New Hampshire?
Kinsman Mountain.
We're on the South Peak right now. I gotta say, it's like nothing we've ever hiked before. It's amazing.
It is.
It really is. You know, we earned this view. You could drive up here, sure, but I guess Mount Washington, but we earned this, man. It's a great feeling. Stayed stealth camped last night on trail. One thing we've noticed is we're slowing down just because the terrain's difficult. So where it'd probably take us half the time to do just the same amount of mileage before, we're slowed down. It's all right though. We have 75 miles left after the end of today. We did 13 miles yesterday. We're gonna do 13 miles today. The weather is ideal. In the Whites, it gets volatile weather-wise, so we are trying to catch every good day we can before we might have to like hunker down if it gets to be bad weather. Last night a thunder and lightning storm rolled in and some rain. It is up in the mountains a bit more, it's like more violent. So definitely don't want to get caught. We know not to camp up above tree line like this high. So we are, you know, just like rolling with it, planning it out. Good weather days, making sure we're taking advantage. 13 miles is a lot of miles. We're not slack packing at all. So, and by slack packing, someone drives your pack ahead of you and they give you a day pack, just a little backpack, so you don't have to carry all the weight. Makes it much easier to summit these mountains. So we're pushing good mileage for not doing that. We just passed one of the huts in New Hampshire. It's up that way. Probably should have gotten a picture of it. But here is the Lonesome Lake just down below the hut. Beautiful area. Today is June 28th. It's day 75 of our trip. We got an unplanned motel last night in Lincoln, New Hampshire. We are just outside of really getting into the whites. We've been in the whites the past 2 days. Now we resupplied at the Price Chopper here in Lincoln for 7 days, which is a lot of food. And we're kind of planning on doing the whole thing up to Gorham, New Hampshire in about 7 days, and there's no real resupply points. It'd be preferable to carry like 3 days of food. These are the steepest mountains that we have encountered for sure, but it seems like almost no choice, so we're going for it. We're nervous and excited. There's some bad weather tomorrow and possibly, which is Saturday, and possibly Sunday as well. We have a game plan though, not to sleep above tree line any night, to stay below tree line for any storms and take cover if we need to. They have some huts up there that will be able to take cover and if things do get bad. But we feel prepared, and we're about to embark. We just mounted Mount Liberty. It's actually 0.3 off the trail, so we didn't go on it. We're gonna see plenty of other mountains. We're actually gonna be climbing that up ahead, which we just did the big climb of the day, so that's actually nothing, believe it or not. We're on top of the mountain that we were just looking at, or at least near the top. That mountain, that pointy mountain, that's Mount Liberty. So we were just close to the top of that, but we started, there's a highway down there. I don't know if the camera can make it out, but we started down there, made our way up this morning, up that, and then headed across here to this point. And let me tell you, it's cool.
It's cool.
I don't know if the camera will do it justice or not. It's kind of interesting. The mountains are blue. You know, you think it's just be the sea of green, but they're actually pretty much blue, right? Bluish green.
You think it's blue?
Actually, we're headed up that right there. So there's a couple humps to get up. That one's above tree line. You can see no trees over there. Very fragile area. You're actually supposed to stay on the path. You can see some areas where people attempted to set up camp and they have thrown down sticks to impede that, to preserve. You don't want erosion happening. Keep the trees up here if you can.
Protect the alpine environment.
Precisely. We'll take another video when we're up there. I mean, this thing might just keep going. Who knows? So, Janine and Matador and I have summited the ridge line here. I think that's Mount Haystack. It's really cool how the trail, you can just see it hug the ridge, just going up those rocks. And really, I've never hiked anything like this in my life. I've almost never seen anything. I mean, I think definitely this is the most intense. Burlington, you kind of have that view. Chiang Mai, Thailand, you kind of have that view and you go up on the mountains, but I think this is definitely the most breathtaking one. And also, we earned it.
We did.
We freaking earned it. But I'll take another video up there if it's worth it. See what we got. Janine and I are in our tent. It's 4:30.
So early, but I'm so tired.
Well, it wasn't really that, was it?
Oh, it's the black flies.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
We could have kept going up the, there's one other climb and a shelter. But the black flies, oh my goodness. Relentless. Actually, let's see her back. I haven't shown much graphic images on this channel, but look at that, just lit up.
Can
And
you see this? I don't know if that looks bad.
yeah, yesterday this was worse. Her neck was all like bleeding.
My ear was bleeding earlier.
Oh, this is what they look like. These little suckers. Oh, here's one. That is a black fly. Evil thing. Bird. Not really moving out of the way. The trail here. I have no idea what type of bird this is, but sure is pretty. Not really shy. It is day 77. Rained a bit last night. Raining right now, not too hard yet. We've been hearing thunder. From that direction, you can see the clouds kind of rolling over the hills. So luckily we're not up there. That's where we came from last night. And that was our goal yesterday, was to get down from that elevation because we knew thunderstorms were coming today. So we are at a safer elevation. I think we're also headed away from the storm, probably. You can see some dark clouds over there. It kind of seems like they're moving that way. So we'll probably avoid any crazy lightning. If it does come through, we'll just take cover somewhere. But we are headed towards the shelter right now. We're about 4 miles away, maybe 3 now. And once we hit that, we'll really go down in elevation, probably 1,000 feet. And today we'll assess, but after we go down, we'll head up and start our ascent to Mount Washington. We're obviously not going to go all the way up today. One, it's too far to physically even be able to do that, and two, with the weather, obviously don't want to go up there if it's bad. So actually the timing is going to work out perfectly because we have good weather tomorrow and Tuesday. We'll be able to get the views probably tomorrow if it isn't all humid and fogged up from whatever dumps on us today. And we'll have, after today, less than 50 miles left in the whites, which again is the most challenging terrain. Today's easy actually, but this is the easiest we've seen yet, as far as most of the time we're just climbing straight up things. But 50 miles left, and then in Maine we have 90 miles of similar tough terrain, and we pretty much cleared, once we do that, all the AT's really tough terrain, which is an exciting thought to think to get that done. It is day 78. We just climbed to the top of Mount Jackson. It rained a bit last night. Actually, we heard some thunder in the distance, so we had to kind of cut our plans short and just set up camp at the nearest stealth site we could find, which we did. We only had about a liter of water, and had to just make that work. Got some water on the mountain thanks to the rain. We picked some up. We found that water on top of these mountains is a bit of an issue because everything's going to drain real quick right off the top of these. It's all rock, and there's not that much area going to it when you're on top, drainage area. So water's actually tough to find up on top of these mountains, believe it or not. We are headed to the Lakes of the Clouds hut tonight. Today's actually supposed to be beautiful, supposedly. Actually, look at that. Moving. I guess people looking up from below can't see the top of this thing. Summit Mount Washington tomorrow, probably. We'll be right below it today. We made it to the Mitzvah hut. There are many huts along the White Mountain range. They have actually a bunch of services. They have restrooms, of course without real plumbing. They have fresh water, food, full service kitchen. Now most thru hikers aren't going to utilize this. It's over $100 per night to actually stay at one of these things. So the day hikers pretty much pay that rate, and if you're thru hiking and show up at the right time, you can do work for stay, where you might wash some dishes or do whatever they need, and you'd be able to sleep here for free on the floor just with your pad. We're not going to do that. I mean, we're here super early. We're going to end up at another hut later. But we'll probably, I don't know what we're going to do. But I'm just going to go inside here real quick and just show the inside, not really talk much because there's still people. So you could see we could even buy a little bit of food and coffee here. Pretty convenient. Pretty awesome. We are a half mile from getting to the top of that. So you have a sense of scale of why it takes so long to just like push any mileage. That's gonna take a bit. Today is day 78. We are about to arrive at the Lakes of the Clouds hut. We're just before Mount Washington. We're at the bottom. It rained a bit last night. In fact, we had to stop our travel because we heard thunder rolling in and we wanted to be safe. So we just set up camp at the nearest stealth site. Somewhere up here is the shelter. I'll get into that later. It looks like there's still snow up here, which is interesting. It is July 1st today. I gotta say, this part of the trip has been amazing, and it's gonna be even more amazing going up Mount Washington. It looks like the timing's perfect. There's definitely no view up there today, just clouds and fog, but tomorrow should be better weather, hopefully. We've made it to the top of Mount Washington, 6,288 feet, I believe. The view today is non-existent. That's all right though, because we've seen plenty of other views on the other mountains to get here. We also have, including today, 3 more days left of summiting these tall peaks and whatnot, which is great. It's supposed to clear up today as well, potentially. It's quite early in the morning, so the sun needs some time to burn through this. And we'll probably get some views on the other presidential mountains. Today is day 82, July 6th. We have completed the Whites. As we mentioned, it's some of the toughest terrain. We're at the Libby House, a hostel here in Gorham, New Hampshire. Took a 0 day today. Rest up. We were pretty beat up, obviously, from the rough terrain. We just pushed right through the Whites. Did it in like 7 days, I believe. It was tough, that's for sure. But we're rested up. We have some tough terrain ahead of us in southern Maine, somewhat comparable to the Whites. We're moving along though, and the rest was nice.